An unprecedented new consciousness is transforming the entire human species. A new world is being born. The old world is disintegrating. Both worlds now call to you. Do you want to live in gratitude, patience, contentment, and all of the universe? Or in anger, worry, overwhelm, and despair? This podcast will help you choose joyfully and effectively. Welcome. Here's a question that many people have asked, and it's such a good question, and I'm delighted to be able to talk with you about it. This person says, how does one continue to live an authentic life and deal with loss at the same time? I'm finding it impossible. You never, quote, get over, quote, the death of a loved one. But how can you deal with the loss and grief and yet get back to the space of authentic living? It is possible. And what you're feeling now is part of authentic living. In the creation of authentic power, one of the steps is to develop emotional awareness, and it's a very important step. It's fundamental. You can't create authentic power if you're denying or repressing or suppressing or trying to push away in any way an emotion. Emotions are very important. Emotions are the force field of your soul. Emotions bring you messages. And if you try to exclude your emotions by saying, I want to live an authentic life, but I'm still feeling loss and grief, you are pushing away the very authenticity that you're striving for. Now, when I say it's important to feel all of your emotions, I mean somatically, in terms of physical sensations that you're encountering in your throat area, for example, in your chest area, and your solar plexus area. And by physical sensations, I don't mean experiences of happy, heavy, joyful, down, up, ebullient. I mean physical sensations, such as I'm feeling a sharp pain on the left side of my chest, or I'm feeling a constriction the size of a golf ball in the center of my throat, or I'm feeling a churning and a burning in my solar plexus area. When you experience your emotions in this way and can articulate them in this way, then you are developing emotional awareness. And when you do, you will find that those emotions that create painful physical sensations are emotions that come from fear. What emotions are there? Well, among the many of them are the two that you mentioned, grief and loss. So experiencing grief and loss is something that is a part of your life at the time that you wrote this question. Experiencing grief and loss doesn't mean that you feel it somatically and then you stay there and you wallow in it or you sink into it. And it doesn't mean that you splash it onto others, that you tell everyone about what you're feeling. Instead, it's necessary to use your emotions to tell you when a frightened part of your personality is active and when a loving part of your personality is active. Now, I say it's important, that is, if you want to create authentic power. Because when you discover that a frightened part of your personality is active, you can count on the fact that if you act on that energy, you will create painful and destructive consequences. So now we get back to your question. You have two emotional experiences that come from fear. They're not love. Loving experiences of love are blissful, and the physical sensations that accompany them are healthy. And the thoughts that accompany loving parts of your personality are gratitude and appreciation and caring and patience. And the thoughts that accompany a frightened part of your personality are comparison. In this case, look at my life before my loved one died, and look at it now. It's worse now than it was then. Look at how I feel today and how I felt yesterday. Look at how depressed I feel now and how happy and satisfied I was then. These are comparative thoughts. They're judging what's better and what's worse. So to create authentic power, it's necessary to experience everything that you're feeling, to identify the difference between fear and love, and then choose love no matter what you're experiencing inside and what you're experiencing outside. So the purpose of this video has been to help you see that the experiences you are still encountering come from fear. And fear comes not from the unchangeable ground of your being, but from a part of your personality, a part that's angry, for example, or a part that's jealous, or a part that's grieving, or a part that feels loss. And once you identify it as that, you can recognize the fact that there are other parts of your personality that feel very differently about this same situation. There are parts that would celebrate the passing of your loved one. There are parts that would look back on the times that you spent together and see in those times not something that you are now missing or now don't have, but see in those times the gifts that this soul that was your loved one gave to you in the time that that soul walked the earth as a personality, as you are walking it now. This is how the loving parts of your personality would address this situation. The frightened parts of your personality will look at it in grief as nothing but loss. Now, here's the thing. The choice is yours. While you're feeling the frightened parts of your personality, you can challenge them by reaching for the loving parts of your personality, the most healthy parts that you can. For example, you can think about what you learned, really learned from your time together about yourself. That was a precious gift that this soul gave you while you two were together on the earth as personalities. And then focus on that. Where your attention goes, you go. And the more often you challenge a frightened part of your personality, the more it begins to lose its control over you. It still comes. It's still painful. It still has the same thoughts. But you'll find that it doesn't penetrate you as deeply. It begins to run off you like water off the feathers of a duck. And eventually its control over you disintegrates. That's creating authentic power. And one of the important things that you must cultivate in order to create authentic power is emotional awareness. And whatever you're feeling is something that you need to be feeling and experiencing fully. That is exactly what puts you on track to the authentic life that I can feel you are yearning for. Join me next time to explore the epic transformation of human consciousness that is reshaping our species and your part in it. It may surprise you. I'm Gary Zukav.